What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on the Vmax again. So if you saw in the last video, we got it running. It wasn't running too great. In the very last clip I posted, it was actually running pretty good. And what it ended up being, a lot of guys are suggesting a lot of things. But let me show you here. I can't open this cab fully. But anyways, there's two mechanical cable actuated fuel shutoffs. And I had bypassed one, and me being stupid, I didn't realize there was another one. Dummy. JF actually noticed that and said, "Why didn't you bypass the other one?" I went, "Wow, I'm a moron. Didn't even notice there was another one." So I have them both bypassed for now until I get those things fixed. And it's actually running great now. So running really well. So in today's video, we're going to be, I pulled the rear skid out. I don't know if you noticed in the last video when it was running and I was spinning the track. Sounded terrible. Those bearings are white in the rear skid, so I'm going to change all the skid bearings, put the skid back in. I want to pull the clutches off. I want to definitely look at the primary, see what the weights are looking like. I noticed the engagement's really low. It's 3,000 RPM. I feel like that's a bit lower than factory. I feel like it should be like 35, 32, 33, 34, 35, something like that. But I don't know. I tried looking up spring rates on it because I just wanted to get the engagement a little higher. I want the same finish rate but a higher engagement rate, and I couldn't actually find any information on what the spring is. All I found is a Comet purple spring that people are running, but then it has like a 5,500 engagement, which I don't really want. So I might end up just shimming the primary spring just to bump that engagement up a bit. We'll see. But anyways, clutch has got to come off. Got a new Yamaha belt for it. The skis, I got other skis I'm going to be putting on as well. And I don't know what else. I think that might be it. I don't know. We'll see when I get... Oh, yeah, the windshield. I'm going to pull this garbage snow stuff windshield off and put on this OEM one I found. I'm getting that decal remade. I just don't have it yet. That'll go on because I hate that windshield. And, yeah, I guess let's just get started on getting this thing jacked up in the air and getting the skid out of it. All right, skid is out. Check out these bearings. You ready? Watch how good this one spins. Yeah, it don't. This one's okay. This one's all right. This, no. There's also this little shaft that sits higher up in the tunnel, and these are pretty cooked too. So all the bearings are pretty much cooked. Couple good ones, but yeah, they're not really good. So let's get these wheels off, pound some new bearings in, reassemble this girl. Oh boy, guys. So, remember when I said I wanted to do the skis and the clutches and the skid today? Well, it's the end of the day, and I just got the skid done, and it's not even back in the sled. What a treat this was. No surprise, but these upper wheels were seized on this shaft bad. I had a 3-jaw puller trying to pull the wheel off the shaft. Started to bend the wheel, wouldn't come. I had to remove this whole rear scissor arm assembly, which is why you can see it's painted because I already had it off. Put the whole assembly in my press and pressed these shafts through each wheel. And like my 12-ton press was having a problem getting this thing out. Like, it got it, but it struggled a little bit. Ridiculous. The rear axle shaft was stripped, had to drill retap. There was something else I had to drill and retap. Anyways, just kind of a fight the whole way, but we got it. No big deal. Very weird, funky setup Yamaha's got going on with this skid. Like, really weird geometry and just hard to work on, honestly. But anyways, it's good to go. All the bearings are changed. So we're going to get this back in the sled. I'm probably not going to record that because I already recorded it coming out. No big deal. So yeah, I'll get this in, and we'll probably resume this clutching and ski stuff another day because the day's over today. So anyways, I'll get this back in, and I'll see you in a day or two or whenever I start working on this again. All right, guys, it's the next day. The day's already half over, and I'm feeling lazy here, so we're we're going to start with the windshield. And then I'm going to pull the clutches off and see where I get with that. But the windshield's nice and easy to change, so maybe we'll do that first. And check this. This is going to be the fastest windshield swap you've ever seen in your life. You ready for this? Oh, yeah, that looks way better than that stupid clear windshield. Yeah, so that's good to go. I guess we'll do these clutches now. Yeah, let me try to get this off. I don't know if I have the right puller for that primary. It's a Comet 108, and I have an Articat Comet 108 puller from an old T-Cat years ago. I would assume it's the same. It's still a Comet 108, just not an Articat Comet 108, so I'm going to try it. If not, I guess I won't be getting the primary off today, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Alright, so as you can see, my puller didn't work, and I pulled the clutch apart the way you never should. So, like I've said before, do as I say, not as I do. So I just pulled the cover off. I had a grip on it, so I didn't pull the threads. You gotta watch when you're pulling these. Like, if you're just pulling by the bolts and you're not keeping that cover compressed to take the tension off, like, you'll pull the threads right out of the tower. So I had a clamp on it to make sure the tension wasn't on the threads when I removed the last bolt. It's all good. Looking at the clutch, I guess you can't tell, but the shaft's a bit pitted, but actually not that bad. I can clean that up. The buttons are a little worn. They're not destroyed. They're a little worn, but that'll do for now. And surprisingly enough, the bushings in the weights, well, I got the pins back in them now, are all good on all three, and the pins aren't grooved from the weights or anything either, so those are all good. Like, I'm just going to clean this stuff up. But one thing I did notice, if you look, it's an A3 446 weight, A3 446 weight, A3. So I don't know what the deal with that is. I was going to say the weights are worn really bad, but they're actually not. Just to say, that's fine. So I don't know what's going on with that other A3 weight. Maybe it was just someone changed one weight at some point, and when you buy aftermarket ones, or not the ones that came on the thread, it just says A3, but it's the same weight. I don't smoke Cheech, so I don't have a scale for this type of shit. Otherwise, I'd just scale them out and make sure they're the same. Here's that primary spring. Yeah, I don't like the engagement on this. I just haven't been able to find specs. So we'll see. If I can find specs before I get this thing back together, I'll just buy a different spring. I don't care. I just can't find specs on what it's supposed to be. Otherwise, I'll just shim it. But obviously, I'd prefer to get a different spring. Secondary, I haven't pulled apart yet. How do these yammies work? Oh, that's pretty easy. It's just a circlip. Okay, I'm going to pull that apart. Take a look at the buttons inside there. I'm assuming the buttons are fine, though. Like, this is pretty low mileage on this thing. But give me a second. I'll pull this apart. All right, so clutch is apart. I get a flashlight here. I don't know how well you can tell. That's better without the flashlight. Buttons aren't bad. They got a ton of life left on them. A ton. Those are good. The helix looks nice. The ramps, I actually thought they were smoked there for a second, but they're good. Spring is black pink, so I'm going to write that down, make sure that's factory, or we'll see what it is. The helix doesn't actually seem to have an angle on it. It has a money sign and a -1, which I'm assuming means every time you look at this sled, you lose money. Kind of seems like the common theme here. Anyways, actually, that's not true. I think I've done well on this. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Pull this apart really quick. I haven't checked this yet. That looks good. Yeah, it looks like someone's been in here before trying to clean up the sheaves. See that? Oh, look at that. I'll have to clean that up a little bit with 3M pad or some emery cloth. But other than this little mark here, sheaves look good. I don't see any cracks anywhere. But someone has been in here trying to clean them up. Well, at some point anyway, cleaned them up. There's your shim stack. So I'm going to measure that shim stack as well, just so I know what's in there. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to reassemble this, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, so got the secondary back on, all back together. It's all good. Primary's back on. You know what? I was thinking about it, and I did a little bit of research. I'm not going to play any games shimming the primary. That's some stupid shit. I don't want to do that. So I found out, I still can't find out what the spring rate is, but what I did find out is that a lot of guys used to run a Polaris dark blue and white primary spring in these Comets, and apparently it worked well. Bumped the engagement to 42, which is pretty much what I want. Maybe a tad more than what I wanted, but I'm okay with 42. That's probably the limit, though. And that spring is a 120 300 finish rate spring, so I'm going to get one of those. And yeah, I don't know if that's all I'm going to do for this video. Well, hey, if the video keeps continuing on, I didn't end it here. If it ends here, thanks for watching, guys. 1 week later. All right, we're back. I'm not really sure. I don't really remember where we left off because it's been a little bit. But I think I had the clutches apart, and I think I had mentioned that the ski bolt was seized in the spindle. It's been about a week, and I got a bit of an update here, so we're gonna go through that. Got a primary spring. It's actually an aftermarket spring, or aftermarket spring with the same spring rate as a Polaris spring. We got that in there. My secondary now, one thing I am gonna have to look into a bit is, let me open this up. I put this brand new Yamaha OEM belt on it, and it was sunk down in the sheaves like a 1/4 inch. So I pulled the secondary back off, it split it apart again, and there was only 2 very thin shims in it. I removed those shims, so now there's no shims. And as you can see, the belt's sitting just a little lower than I'd like. It's not terrible, but it's not really what I want. But I think it'll do for now. I'm not really sure why. Why it's sitting like that with a brand new OEM belt and literally no shims in it. So what I might do after the winter, not the season, because this will be fine for now. Like I said, it's not ideal, and I know that, but it's not terrible, terrible, terrible. It's close. It's very close. It's just to say above the sheaves. But what I might do is get the secondary taken off and get the surfaces remachined and machine just a little bit of material off each sheave, which will allow the sheaves to sit tighter, essentially, and put the belt up higher. That way I might be able to actually put shims back in it. But anyways, that's a next summer thing. So secondary's on, primary's got the new spring in it. All the weights were good from what I remember. The rollers were nice. Everything was pretty good there. So clutching is good to go for now. That ski issue with the seized bolt, I got the skis out, and I actually ended up finding another pair of skis. Took me a while, but I found them. Well, here's one of them anyway. I just ended up painting it, and I was going to put it on, but I don't know if you can tell, but there's a bunch of like orange peel in it. I'm not sure why that happened. I cleaned it really well before I painted it. I painted the bottom side, and the bottom side turned out great. Turned out really well, no issues. So I'm going to get this sandblasted and paint it again, and then they'll go on this thing. And then I honestly think that might be it. All it really needs to go for a ride, well, to be honest, I can't get this on, but not going to lie to you, I took it for a ride the other day. Just couldn't wait. And JF was over, and we were looking at the fuel issue I was having with the fuel shutoffs, trying to figure out what's going on, and I think I figured it out. There's something going on with the cable mechanism. It's busted. Anyways, we have it with the regular fuel shutoffs for now, bypassing it. And we brought it outside just to test that stuff, and then I went, well, it's outside running. Why don't I just take it down the road really quick? So it wasn't really a first drive, I guess so, but I just took it down the road. As you can see, the skis that came off, I got a bit of snow on it from yesterday. So I'm going to post that video right now after this. That's just me doing a little rip on it. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. So next video, I promise, Skis will be on it. The new skis, it'll be running well. I'm just going to leave the fuel shutoffs for now until I get that cable. That's going to be a hard to find piece. But next video, we'll be driving this thing for real. We're going to take this thing for a ride and see what it does. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. Like I said, leave comments. Comments are great. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know if you like this thing. Let me know if you want to put this thing on a t-shirt. Hey, you guys want a t-shirt with a Vmax 540 on it? I could do that. You let me know. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Hey! Subscribe to the channel.